So today we are now moving on to the graph transversal. Now all what we are coming to do is that now assuming if you have a graph, then you can just identify whether the vertices are being connected or the graph is well connected. But if you are now make an input into the computer, then by means of either adjacency matrix or the incident matrix and co, then you can just let the computer check it for you if the vertices are connected. So before we can do this, you might get come out with some algorithm that will make the computer also check it for you. And the two of them we are now going to consider are one, we have the first search, the DFS technique. Then we have the blend first search technique. So we are taking these two techniques to check whether the graphs that you have in the computer are just connected or they are not connected. So let's go to the first technique, DFX. Now, all this algorithm is saying that now if you have a graph with the vertices V1 up to Vn, then what you're now going to do is that you are now going to take any arbitrary vertex, can take any vertex at all. You can take V1, V2, V3, or any vertex of that graph to start with. Then you name that or you number that first vertex that you have taken as 1. Then that vertex may be adjacent to more than one vertex. Or we get look at for the adjacent vertex to this vector that we have chosen. And pick any one of the adjacent vertex or vertices, any one of them. Number that 1, 2. Then you take the edge that connects 1 to 2 as use edge. Now, all the idea is that we are not trying to go to all the vertices. We are visiting all the vertices once. And as we're moving along, we don't want to form a closed figure. They want to form a cyclic. So we make sure that the vertex that you have used, you won't go back to it again. That's the main idea. So you have the 1, vertex 1, 2, then you mark the edge that is joined 1 to 2 as you, so that you may not use that edge again. That's the main idea. Is okay? So now having gotten your the edge 1, 2, now we are now on 2. Take any adjacent vertex to this vertex 2 and go to that vertex also. Then you number it 3. Then you mark the edge that connects 2 to 3 also as used. So at the 3, 2, you also look at adjacent vertices and pick any one of them and go there and mark it for. So the process continues until all the vertices are being visited. That's what algorithm is. DFX is. So the resulted graph consisting of the vertices, the end vertices, and the used edges is called a depth first search spanning tree of the graph. So if you're able to do so, then you are not going to get the spanning tree. Now, if it is not possible to label all the end vertices by the DFS technique, we conclude that the graph is not connected. By being able to just visit all the vertices once without any issue, then we say that the graph is well connected. And then you get the DFFH and then you get the news. So before let's go to the example so that we go through these processes or algorithm and then see how we can check it. So let's consider the graph G equal to VE below. As you can see here, now this is the G. Now per the DFS technique, now pick any one of the vertices. We have 8 vertices. So I just chose one, then 1. So having gotten the then 1, I'll mark it 1 as the first vertex I'm going to now start with. So that's 1. Now V1 is adjacent to V2 and V8. Pick any one of them, any one. So I selected V2 and I name it 2 here. Then from the V2 to we have adjacent vertices are V1, V7, V6, V3. But since we have used the V1, we can't go to V1 again. Don't forget, we are using every vertex once. So we can't go here again. So we are left with the V7, V6, V3. We can choose any one of them. So I chose V7. So I number it 3. Then I tick the edge V2, V3 as used so that I won't come back to it again. I hope everybody is following. And at the V7, we have the adjacent vertices at V8, V6, and V2. But since we are coming from V2, we can't go there. So we can go to either V6 or V8. So I went to V6. Then I tick the edge that connects V7, V6 as used. Now at the V6 too, we have the adjacent at V7. Now let's forget about V7 because we are coming from that vertex. So we have V2 and V3. Now if we go to V2, V2 is already been visited. So we can't go there again. Don't forget, we are saying we are visiting every vertex once. So since V2 is visited, we can't go there again. So to me, we have only one vertex to go, which is V3. So let's go to V3. So we have it at 5. Now, again, even if we go to V2, we have formed a cyclic. Then we have formed a closed figure. Now we are using V2, V6 as 1, V6, V7, and then V7, V2. So it becomes a closed figure. And we don't want to form any closed figure as we move along. Okay. So now at V5, we have other adjacent vertices to be visited that are not yet visited at V6 and V5 and V4. So I can choose to go to any one of them. So I went to V5 first. So I name it 6. Now, as you are aware, V5 is an end vertex, or it is a pendant. So we don't have any edge that connect it again, apart from V3, V5 edge. So it means we have just ended at that vertex. But we have other vertices that we haven't yet visited. So we must go back, we must backtrack it. So we go back to where we came from, to V3. We are not using V3 again. We are just backtracking it. So at the V3, now we check if we have any vertex that we haven't yet visited. Yes, which is V4. So then we go to V4. So we name that one also 7. Now V4 is also end vertex, so we can't go further. So we must also backtrack again, come back to V3. Then check if you have any additional vertex or vertices that are not yet visited. But lucky enough, all of them are visited. So to me, we must go back to V6 to check if everything is also okay there. Now we are V2, V7, they are all visited. So we go back to V7. Now when we get to V7, we have V8 to be visited. We haven't got to V8. Therefore, we move to V8. I will name that one 8. Don't forget, we have 8 vertices. And for that matter, we have gotten all the 8 vertices being visited. Hence, we are done with our operation. So at V8, you see, we can't go to V1. If you go to V1, that's where we started from. We are forming a closed figure. Therefore, we have just ended with our process. So the next step is that we are now going to remove all those edges that are not visited or that are not used. Those without any mark should be removed from the graph. Get a spanning tree. Okay. So it means we have V1, V8. It's not used to remove this V1, V8. We have V2, V3 not also used. We can remove it. We have V2, V6 also not used. So we have to remove it. Then the rest will become like this. We get it as our DFS spanning tree. It's okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now those
Yes,
edges that
sir.
you have removed,
Yes, sir.
if edge is not used, that edge is said to be a chord. A chord. So it means V1, V8 is a chord. That's why it's not part of our spanning tree. V2, V3 is also a chord. V2, V6 is also a chord. That's why they are not part of the spanning tree. Now, if you look at this spanning tree, you can see that we don't have any closed figure anywhere. They are all open. So this is what we call the DFSH. Then having gotten the spanning tree, then as we number the vertices per our movement, then we order them like this. We order them. Don't forget, we start from 1, 2, up to 8. To just arrange all the vertices in that order. And we call that one DFS nose. DFS nose. So that's the GFS spanning tree and the nose from that graph. Now, if you look at this, I started from V1. You may start from any other vertex. So it means that the shape of this spanning tree may differ depending upon your starting point and then the path that you take. We may all start from the same V1, but as we move on, we may just use a different paths. That may give us also different shapes. Now, then if so, how can I know that I am on the right path? Now, after you have done with the DFS spanning tree, that the number of the vertices, now this one we have 8 vertices. The number of the vertices should be, if you subtract 1 from the number of the vertices, it should give you the number of edges. So if you have the 8 vertices, then we are expected to get 7 edges for our spanning tree. So let's count the edges. We have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That shows that you are right. But the shape may differ depending upon the path that we may take. Okay, any question on this? If no question, let's go to another example. Let's see example 2 here. The example number 10. So from the graph drawn below, construct the DFS spanning tree and list the DFS nodes. So here we have 8 vertices as the first example. Then we can just decide to move or start from any one of them. You can start from V8. One may start from V7. One may start from V4. But let's go now. Let me ask you, draw this graph so that we can move on. So you will draw the graph so that we can move on as we move along. Then you get all be doing it together. So everybody should draw the graph. So with the graph, let's take any vertex. Now let's take V1. So we step on V1, name it 1. Just number it 1 here. Now V1 is adjacent to V2, V7, V6. Then you can take any one of them. So assuming if I take V7, so I'm number here 2. Let's do so with your graph. That means we are now moved from V1 to V2. So you have used the edge V1, V2. V1, V7 rather. So let's mark it as used. Then at V7, we have the adjacent vertices as V2, V5. We can't go back to V1. So we are now just, not even to mention it. So we have V2, V5. So we can take any one of them. So assuming if we take V5, now we know why it's 3. Then just mark the edge connecting V7 to V5 as used. Then at the V5, you have V6 and V8. So you can pick any one of them. Now let's pick V8. So we have V8, so let's name it 4. Okay. Then we take the edge V5, V8 as used. Now the V8, we have V2, V3, V4 as adjacent vertices that we can move to. So we can go to V2, we can go to V3, we can go to V4. So where should we go? Now assuming we go to V4, so you can number V4 as 5. Then we mark this edge as used. Oh no, this one as used. Then at V4, we can come to V5 because V5 is already used. So we can't go here. So we have to go to, we have only one place to go, which is V3. So we go to V3 and number it 6. Then we take the edge V3, V4 as used. Then at V3, we have V2 to go. We can't come to V8. So therefore, we number that one 7. Don't forget, we have 8 vertices and we are now on the 7th vertex. So we are left with just 1. So let me mark here as used. Now the V7, all the adjacent vertices are what visited, they are being used. So we can't go to any one of them. Therefore, we have to backtrack it. We have to go back to check for all other vertices. So we have to come back to V3. I want to check for V3, all the adjacent are also used. So we go back to V4. V4, all the adjacent are also used. So we go to V8, the same thing. Now go to V5. So at the V5, you could see that V6 is yet to be visited. Then we must go to V6 and number it 8. So we can now take the edge V5, V6. So all the vertices V1 to V8 are visited. Therefore, we are done with our process. So we found the spanning tree by removing the chords from the graph, that the edges which are not used. So we must remove the edge V1, V6, V1, V2, V2, V7, V2, V8, and then we have V3, V8, and then V4, V5 should be removed to get the spanning tree. So we can also draw a different one by removing all these edges to get your DFS spanning tree. Okay, so this is what I got. This is what I got. So if you look at this, I move from vein 1 to vein 7 to vein 5. Now, per what we are doing, we move from vein 5 to vein 8. But here, I move from vein 5 to vein 4. Then from vein 4, I came back to vein 8, to vein 3, now to vein 2. Then I'll backtrack it. I did the backtracking. Now I get back to what? Vein 6. That's what we have here. So this one I got a depth first expanding tree. Then we can get DFS nodes by just arranging them in order that you just mark the vertices. So you have 1 up to 8. And you have vein 1, vein 7, vein 5, as you can see here. So this is what we call the DFS nodes. It shows the order of your movement. Is that point okay? Okay, now if the total number
Yes,
of
sir.
the vertices
Yes, sir.
of the spanning tree is n, then the total number of edges is n minus 1. Now here we have 8 vertices, therefore we are supposed to get 7 edges. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Therefore we are right. You can get the plane shape as I told you in the first example. Depending upon where you are moving. You are starting point and then your route of movement. Okay. Any question on that? DFS turning tree. So you could see that the chords are this. Those edges that were not used are this here. The one that we have removed. They are the chords. Third one. Now this one too, you can draw this graph. Draw this graph and let us all do it together. So let's draw it and let's do it together. So let's go through the process. So assuming we start from A, we can start with any other vertex, so no problem. So assuming we start from A. So number A as 1. Then take either B, F, or E. Now assuming I take, let's see, F. Then I will number here 2. Then let's mark the edge AF as used. Now at the F, I can just go to, let's say, E. So I can number here, number 3 here. Then we get mark the edge EF as used. Now at the E, then we don't have any other apart from D because A and F are being used already. So we can go to D and number it as 4. Okay, then we mark the edge DE as used. At D, the edges, the vertices that are not used, which are also adjacent to D, are B and C. So you can take any one of them. Now I can go to C and number it 5. You can also go to B first. So we have the 5 here. Then we mark this edge as used. Then at C, then we have only one vertex to go with the D. So number here is 6. Don't forget we have 6 vertices. And we have gone through all of them. So therefore, we have just ended our movement. So hence, we get remove all the unused vertices, which are AB, AE, now BF, DF, DB, yeah, DB. So from your graph, we can now remove these edges. And then we get our nodes. The nodes now will be as we have just numbered them. A to F, now to E, D, C, B. Per our movement here. So let's see what I did here. Yeah, so that's the movement. Now you see what we did. We moved from A to F. But here I moved from A to B before I came down to F. Now I went to for what E, D, and then to what C. So this shape will be different from what we will get from what we did. That's what we call a DFS spanning tree. Then the note now will be this pair, this one. But per what we did, it should be A, F. F will come before B. You are having 6 vertices, hence the edges might be 5, and you can count them to see that there are 5 edges, and therefore we are right. And these are the chords. The chords are A, E, A, F, B, C, D, F, and the B, D. Good. If you have a question, you can ask us to move along. I hope all of you had it right. I'm sure you had it right. Okay. Now we can also use another approach. Don't forget this graph is that's the first one that you get. So from this technique. So from here, we are not going to use a different approach for the same DFS. And we call the stack. We are going to use the stack approach or the stack technique. Now, instead of numbering the vertices and then marking the edges, we can come up with the stack. The stack is just from something like this. You have the boxes here like a ladder. So if you have 8, you might get the 8 boxes here. Then it's called the stack. So the product is that after getting this one, then you must also get the DFS nodes. There are also 8 boxes also here. So he did the horizontal one, I did the vertical one. So from the graph, you select any vertex, let's say bin 1, and you bring this bin 1 in the stack here. Instead of number 1 there, you just bring it in the stack from the bottom here. Then write our bin 1 here. Then having done that, then you pick any adjacent vertex to vein 1. So we have vein 2, vein 8. So I selected vein 2. So bring the vein 2 here. So as soon as you bring the vein 2 to the stack, then you remove vein 1 from the stack and then send it to the nodes here. So if you see this match, you have to remove it. So bring the vein 1 to the nodes here. Then we are now having the V2 in the stack. So go to V2 and pick any one of the adjacent vertices. So here I went to vein 7. So I've brought the vein 7 into the stack here. Then to find out the vein 7 is here, I must also remove the vein 2 from the stack and then bring it to the node here. So at the vein 7, we bring adjacent to vein 7 also to the stack. So with the vein 6, so I just brought my vein 6 here. Then I remove the vein 7 from the stack to the nodes. So at the vein 6 here, then adjacent now will be vein 3. So I brought the vein 3 here. Then I remove the vein 6 to the nodes here. So we keep on until all the vertices are being visited. It's okay. So from the vein 3, then you have vein 4, vein 5 to go. So I brought the vein 4 here. Then I just take the vein 3 to the stack, to the nodes. Then vein 4, now I get backtrack it. Come back to the vein 3 and then go to vein 5. So I brought the vein 5 here. Then I remove the vein 4 from the stack to the nodes. Then at this point, I might go to what? I might go back to check if all the vertices have been visited. But you could see that 8 is yet to be visited. So go back to V3. Okay, to V6, to V7. Now V7 having now V8, which is yet to be visited. So we'll go to V8. So bring the V8 to the stack and now remove the V5 to the nose. Since we have only one vertex, then I'll bring the V8 also to the nose here and remove it from here. So having done this one, you could see that you are now getting your nose straight. Then per the nose, you can remove the chords from the graph to get the spanning tree. So we have the V1, V2. So V1, V2 is part of it. So V1, V2. Now V2, V7. You have V7, V6, V6, V3, to V4, to V5. Then you come back to V8. So remove all of them and you get the same thing as we did by using the first approach. Is that okay? So per this one, you can now remove the course, the unused vertices, or unused edges from the graph to get the spanning tree. So the used one are this, here, this, and it will be the same as the first one that you did using the first technique. So we have to remove this from that, and that to get something like this one, to get the same as this one. So that's the stack approach. There we are not marking, we are not numbering the vertices, but rather you come out with the stack and then the nose. Then after you are done with the movement, then per the nose, you can now remove all the unused edges from the graph to get the spanning tree. Okay, so that is the DFS